Hello and welcome to Decorating Pages. I am your host, Kim Wanup. How's it going? How was that break? How was that Thanksgiving? Are you stuffed? I'm still a little stuffed. It was good. I had a very pleasant holiday with my family, so I hope you did too. I'm very thankful for a lot of things, and one of them is always your continued support of this podcast. So thank you again. And we had a wonderful episode last week where I was thankful for prop houses, joined by Rich Murray, a set decorator out of New York, and Fausto, who works at Hollywood Studio Gallery here in Hollywood. So again, if you missed that, there's some great sources that Rich talks about, and getting to know Fausto. So I hope everyone catches that one. So thank you. And a big thanks. I hit over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I know people have reached out and how much they enjoy watching the podcast. So I don't know. I kind of get weirded out. I've never really liked doing the camera stuff, but it's basically it's a show. Like the podcast got so popular because you could just listen to it anywhere, and then they put all this pressure on you to make a video with it and have clips and all this shit. So, but people, I mean, to me, the podcast is always should be visual for this podcast, especially because we are visual people, and it's great to see what we're talking about. So thank you for that support on there, watching them, liking and subscribing. Thank you so much. Well, I gotta say, it's not like it's been a holiday weekend and I had off and time to sit down and watch some stuff. You know, kids, life. I have my mom in town. It's been awesome. So, but we did catch a couple little flicks together. We watched Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, with set production designer Stefina Kalia, set decorator Chris Moran, and Cheryl Murphy. Bravo. I mean, I'm a product of Philly, South Jersey, and, seeing Jersey references and hitting that Jersey bar and things. And just, I mean, I believe they went to Asbury Park and shot in some real places. So it's Jersey in the 80s. It's cool. I liked it. And there's this great house that he holds up in to like do this record, and it's really pretty, right, like on a lake and everything. So I'm assuming either that was built or a location, but a beautiful setting for his inspiration in some of the film and his songs. Overall, a little slow, Bruce. Important message about depression and how we all deal with that, and yeah, it just was a little slow. I already read reviews about it, and I was like, bummer, they're true. You wanted the film to be about like Born in the USA and like all that, but it's about the other album and all like the depressing songs. But as my mom was watching it, she was even like, I can't believe Bruce let people know all about this. So it is fascinating to see things about his life. So I'll give you that. I liked it. I would recommend it. It's just slow, if you have listened to this to me talk about what Wanup's watching, I don't like slow. I get bored, and then I start social media and things, and another film that I watched was Train Dreams, which I will be speaking with production designer Alexandra Shalfer. I gotta ask her. Boy, that is a powerful but slight, like it's impactful, but it's very simple film, very simple story, but it impacted me. I kept thinking about it hours and the next day, and it's haunting. That's how I'm going to describe it. Haunting. Train Dreams. Beautiful scenery, my lord. Up in, I believe they shot in Washington. And I'm talking to her this week, but you probably won't hear that till January. But yeah, man, what a beautiful, beautiful locations they shot in. I can't wait to ask her about some of the builds. And just a beautiful story. Again, very simple. But that is on Netflix. You could check that out. That is out already. And that is set decorator Melissa Jusfi. And what else? We watched because I already saw things, but now I have them on my BAFTA view. We watched one battle after another. We watched that again, which I could not wait to watch again because I love Leo. I love Benicio. The film is fantastic. Bravo to Florencia Martin and Anthony Carlito. Just I'm just a huge fan. I think it's Leo's going to be up there, and I definitely think Sean Penn's going to be up there. So I don't know. And then I had my mom watch Jay Kelly, and I was like, "What do you think? Is it going to be George against Leo?" And she said, "Yeah." So yeah, that's what I'm watching this week. Again, the Springsteen movie, 80s period, Jersey, awesome. And Train Dreams, beautiful, rich location work and builds, and just haunting. Let's say haunting for that one. So yeah, all right, let's get into it. I love when I get to speak to obviously production designers, set decorators, art directors, set designer, but I also really love to talk about and to costumes and how we interact with costumes in film and TV. And it's really essential how we all work together to make this collective look. So I'm so pleased to have spoken to Jennifer Johnson about the costumes of Bugonia, directed by Yorgos Lanthimos and starring Emma Stone. It's a very weird movie, but I loved it. It's weird. And she designed some unforgettable looks that are powerful, and power suits and all custom clothing on her. And there's huge pieces of this movie to deal with. And Emma Stone shaved her head for this film. And how does that impact her costume? And what is the conversations that goes along with that? Um, that she wears this pink dress that really turns the balance of emotions and power in the film, and how impactful the selection of this dress was. uh Teddy, he's a beekeeper, so how are you aging beekeeper suits, and how are they working in that? So really interesting costumes in this, and it's not huge. I mean, this film is really very focused on about three people. So you're focused on their costumes the whole time, and with colors and fabrics, and making these dad suits that the guys wear, because it's kind of a backstory that they're not their suits. They don't have suits, so they're probably their dad suits. So yeah, I don't know. It's just fascinating. And as I say, like towards the end, which I should say right now, let's see, at about minute 42 ish, major spoiler. So please don't, if you have not seen the movie, turn it off around, turn it off around 41, 42, and don't listen to the rest of the podcast. I'm telling you that now, because there is a major spoiler about the film. So I'm letting you know now. Now, in that spoiler, there's some awesome costume decisions and making where, I mean, it's 2 miles of material. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. So, yeah, Jennifer was amazing to speak to. And again, so glad to have spoken to her. So I hope you enjoy.
Right. Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah. I am excited for more people to see it so I can talk about it. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
and I'm sure, I mean, I've been on projects like that where you're like, I can't wait till this comes out so I can talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah.
that we haven't been able to talk about. So I first got involved with discussing the project with Yorgos back in 2023. So it's been a really long
Oh, wow.
time. Shot the movie in 2024 in London and a little bit in Atlanta. So here she is. She's coming out in LA this weekend. So it's very exciting.
And you have worked with him before, so it's always nice to have like a dialogue with someone when you've worked with them before.
Yeah, I did Yorgos's movie Kinds of Kindness, and I did a short film with him called Nimic, and we've done a commercial together, and it's been a really lovely to have such a shorthand and be able to
Yeah. Yeah, it's
um,
always good. Yes.
telepathically.
Yeah. Well, and two, I mean, every project's different, but still having that, you say like the shorthand with someone is a nice
Yeah,
thing. It takes out a couple steps.
it does. Yeah.
I'm wondering, excuse me, I'm wondering, so when you start to really get into this and dive into it, you know that basically the main character, Michelle, is going to be in the same clothing like almost the whole film. Does
Yeah.
does that make it easier or harder? Because for me as a decorator, when there's one vase on the
Mhm.
shelf, it's harder.
Yeah.
It's harder.
It is. I think in that kind of singular simplicity and something that will be on camera for so long, the weight of each item that you choose or design becomes more heavy, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I also would say that even if she did have costume changes, when you see her towards the end of the movie back in her office, she opens her closet, reveals that she only has that outfit, but in multiples.
It's very Steve Jobs, right? Was
Yeah,
it?
exactly. Yeah. So it's somebody who wants to telegraph power, authority, um, kind of executive, a little bit frightening. Like I think her overcoat is a bit like Nosferatu, especially with the white
Oh,
white
that's
cream on
funny.
her face. Um, but I also think that it is a nod to I believe are we allowed I think we're allowed to talk about the whole thing, right?
Yeah, I'm not airing this till later, so yes.
Okay, great. So it's a nod to the fact that maybe she's not somebody who's accustomed to wearing earthly clothing. So she, as a CEO, has given a list to her assistant, for example,
Right.
please go find me whatever telegraphs
Yeah.
power.
Yeah.
So you got the McQueen suit. I mean, the skirt is custom, the overcoat's custom, the purse is Saint Laurent, the shoes are Louboutin, and it's also this like iconographic
Yeah.
list of what we think of as a very powerful person that emotes and emits control.
Well, to me also, it's almost like even though she's not, she's almost wearing a tie. Like it's almost like
Yeah.
inferred that like this could
Mhm.
be, I'm in charge. It's sort of masculine, feminine working together.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful
Yes.
outfit. Beautiful, and those
Thank you.
shoes are magnificently high.
They
Just
are so
fantastic.
high, and Emma is such a trooper. She had to do that long walk down the office hallway again and again and again. And
Yeah.
she does a lot of stunts with them.
Yeah.
One is when she's being chased by Teddy, attempting to kidnap her.
Yeah.
And she kicked the shoes off, and over the walkie, you could hear shoes on the roof. And she kicked them so high they had landed on a two-story roof that plays her house in the
Oh my God,
movie.
that's fantastic.
But we had two different heights of the shoe. Because there were so much running and stunts, but she did it.
Oh my God. Um, was there discussion about when her hair is gone? Like
Mhm.
for you, I mean, I mean, you still have that collar line to deal with, but was there more discussion like we're only gonna see her with the hair for so long? Like, does that's important?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There was a huge discussion between myself, Yorgos, and Emma in the fittings about how long does she stay in the suit once the cream is applied. So we know the head is shaved in for real. We shot
Yeah.
that scene. Emily is really getting her head shaved, and they had four
She,
cameras.
yeah.
Um, and then from there, once she gets the cream applied, there's so much to kind of deal with, like on a practical shooting level of continuity,
Yeah.
but also not wanting to sexualize her in any way. So you see a woman tied up in a basement, like you need to be really cognizant of what that means. And it was really important for Yorgos and Emma and myself that it read that she's still holding on to her power, but the black and white suit felt like the white would never show the cream properly. You know, you would
Right.
miss a lot of opportunities for the gunk and the mess to really show up. And we wanted to lean into
Yeah.
the white grease, and show that off on the costume. So it was kind of an elegant solve. Instead of the boys covering up with a blanket or something they found like an old rag in the basement, it felt more elegant for her to have some dignity, because I believe the boy, that Teddy would want her to have. He's respectful of women. He's chemically castrated.
Right. He's
He
newly.
doesn't want her power in any way to affect his strength that he's trying to assert. And so he wants to cover her up. So the overcoat was the easiest way to
It's
kind of take care of a lot of things, and at the same time gives her like this bit of a vampire kind of feel,
oh
like a
yeah. Once that
Nosferatu, you
Yeah,
know?
once that dark goes against the white of the
Yeah,
lotion and all and her skin and even her legs and everything, it's like
yeah,
very jarring to see her so white in it. But yeah,
yes,
it's very vampire. It was very
bald and white, and
yeah.
still so gorgeous.
I know. I know. She's so pretty and so brave to be able to
Yeah,
do all this and like, yeah,
she's
shave my
so
head and I'm gonna put cream all over my
fearless.
face and like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yorgos really is really good at collecting people that are, uh, at least pretend to be fearless, but are good at just going for it, even if they're concerned. But Emma certainly like really went for it and has no vanity and really goes for the character, and as does Jesse.
What did you have a lot of tests that you had to do with trying out different jackets so that the cream would show bit more on some fabric and like was there a lot of camera tests for that?
Yeah, great question. I mean, I knew I wanted the overcoat to be burgundy,
Mm.
because that ties into the end scene,
Mm-hmm.
the color of that set that James Price designed.
Yeah.
The ship is predominantly kind of mauve and pink and burgundy, and that color being very much of the design of the ship, and the color being very kind of vaginal, um, and organic
Again,
was
yeah.
really important.
Floral.
So that's like kind of her thread of color design, and the typical being in LA, there's a leaf blower outside.
Oh, I can't hear it. I'm gonna
Um,
I'm assuming my dog's gonna wake up any minute and like
yeah,
I told him to get
I have
out and he won't get out,
I
but
have 4 cats in the wings that are, what is she talking?
yeah.
So the color was decided very early on, and then also knowing that the cream would look really great contrasted, the white cream with the
Yeah.
burgundy.
Oh
But
yeah.
then from there, just the practicalities of continuity and running a set, and
How many
talking
how
to
many
Laura,
jackets?
our set costumer,
Yeah.
we ended up making, I think we had 8 overcoats, um, and we spray scotch guarded them,
Mm.
which helped immensely. So that was the main concern, is that we didn't think that was even enough overcoats to have. But then we tested different fabrics and what it would be like if we wiped it down, and the Scotch Guard worked really great.
Oh, wow. That's a
And
good
so
sign.
we ended up not really having to use all of them. And then there was some fabric concerns. Like we started off with a crêpe, and then we went into a gabardine, and then the final coat was sublimation print,
Oh, wow.
because we couldn't get more of the fabric. But
So
that was the emergency coat, which we ended up not really having to use.
so the code is designed by you.
Yeah,
It's not a buy. Oh, wow.
no,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's great. That's so great. I mean, I was wondering that because something so hero, you would take advantage and want to be able to design it and make it yourself so that you have.
Yeah, we tried some designer coats on her, some overcoats like there was a Saint Laurent. So our fittings were in spring of 2024, and there was a real moment of throwback 90s,
Oh
really
yeah.
exaggerated, but
Yeah.
they were going like really heavy with the shoulders, even going into like 40s. And um, but some really strong kind of business 90s looks were happening amongst various designers, and Saint Laurent had some extreme shoulders. And it became too comical. I think that there's so much comedy in the script and in the action and in the reveal of the end story that
Yeah.
we wanted to play her as serious. Like she's not a comic book character, she's a real person that
Yeah.
we want to fool you, right?
Yeah. I mean, I had no idea where this was going. I had no idea. I mean, I know the director, I know, there's surprises and things get a little wacky sometimes in his projects, but I honestly did not think that she was an alien.
Yeah.
Like until she was in that ambulance and I was like, shit,
Uh-huh.
she is an
Yeah.
alien. That's crazy. This is
Yeah.
great. But
Yeah.
I love it in the same respect that like you want to be surprised. You want
Yeah.
something, something different as a viewer too. So I love that's one of the reasons I
Oh,
really
so
liked
great.
it. And I think
Well, yeah,
there's
and then I was gonna just finish with
oh
the
yeah,
overcoat, just saying that it just being able to make them just offered us so much control with the proportion and the
yeah,
severity of the shoulder and the movement and the length but the collar, as you mentioned before, was so important because it really becomes such a statement in that basement,
yeah,
that she really doesn't belong in that environment. That it shows authority and wealth, and even all in her baldness and her greasiness, she
yeah.
still holds that weight of authority.
Authority. Yeah, she's still in charge of herself at least. She's
Yeah,
still trying to keep it together.
yeah.
Going down a little bit in the film, she is allowed to change into a dress, which they reveal is his mother's dress. And
Mhm.
how did this like? I mean, it's a huge departure from what she had on. Obviously, you're going for that, but how did you get to this pink floral, like little?
Well, it's playing into her color palette. I didn't want to take you out of that. I thought that was really important that we keep hinting towards the final scene
Mm,
in color. And also, what's really interesting about her gaining Teddy's mother's dress is that suddenly there's a power shift where Teddy has the upper hand. He's in his father's business suit, and now she's in a dress. And there's so much to kind of
yeah,
unpack here,
it's
because the dress is the antithesis of who Michelle is, and the dress represents something very emotional for Teddy. But it
mm,
also represents that now he's in his suit and he has in this chess match, which we really see played out at the dinner table, that he's temporarily gained the upper hand. She's been stripped of her kind of armor.
yeah. And
Um,
I think
this dress was from, I had such a great team in London. Ava Rolfs was my ACD, and she's incredible. And Marion was our supervisor, and Alexina was our shopper, who was really great at hunting fabrics down. And she actually found this dress in like a very cheap and cheerful shop in London, and it was so perfect. There was no reason to really remake it because it just fit in with the concept so beautifully. And also, it gave Emma enough movement because this is quite leading up to a lot of violence in the movie.
yeah,
And then knowing that she's going to get like
yeah,
Carrie,
yeah,
Carrie's prom scene,
yeah,
we know that there's some blood and gore. And it was a nice contrast, kind of like a very sympathetic, sad
yeah. I think it's that.
memory of Teddy's mother.
Yeah. I think it's such a choice script-wise to go that way and then to have her discover that it's the mother and then she figures out who what's really going on. And
Mhm.
that as a viewer makes you think like, well, this guy's crazy. This guy is crazy. But also for him to select something so pretty for her because he believes
Yeah,
that she's now like this, the
yeah,
ultimate alien,
yeah.
is,
Royalty.
yeah, it's such a choice,
Yeah,
such a change, and so such a choice that makes you believe everything in that scene. It's
yeah.
fantastic.
And the things in that we explored in the fitting is that we hadn't really landed on, what the costume would be. Like if it's of Sandy's, and we played around with some things. Like an old sweatshirt, an
Mm,
oversized t-shirt, uh because Sandy is addicted to opioids, which you learned in the dream sequence when she has the huge hypodermic needles in her body. And I thought, wouldn't it be nice to give her dignity, because Teddy remembers her also
yeah, it's his
in
mom.
her better moments, not just in her worst moments. And the house itself is quite nice at one point, right? It's large. It has wallpaper. It has symbols of achievement, suburban or
Yeah.
rural achievement, And so you imagine at one time this was a family with a father and a mother who, did okay. And I thought, well, what if like she had gone to a wedding, or what if, well, the movie takes place in Georgia outside of Atlanta. So what if, she was in charge of the cotillion, or
Oh, yeah.
and then, or what if like she had something from she was like a member of a wedding party. So we tried on some more formal items like that,
Mm,
but they became so distracting because they were so funny, or like too sort of matronly looking. And this was more sweet and slightly girlish.
yeah. It definitely lays into the sweetness of your mom. It's
Yeah,
very, yeah. That's a great, such a
my
great choice.
mom and younger, better days, like better, more happy
But
times.
you you guys found this, but then you did make it, right? Because you have double. I mean, in this one
We
with the
bought
you're ma-
we I'm trying to see if they actually match. That I see her stunt double next to her.
pretty. It's
They did a
it's
pretty good job.
it's
When
pretty
you
close.
manufacture things, that the print doesn't always match. They don't always line up correctly. But
Yeah,
it's not
but
bad. Yeah. No, we purchased it.
yeah.
Um, we spent so much money on Michelle and Teddy actually were Michelle's clearly expensive. Even like having 10 pairs of Louboutins is like
Right.
production.
That's a good.
What?
Yeah.
Um,
Hey, man, I
but
didn't write it.
Teddy has a number of custom made, like his silver jacket is custom made, and that was actually quite expensive. That was based off something for him and Dawn. I went really deep into, I love going on eBay and finding sellers that are not like hipster sellers selling Carhartt, like people
Oh
that are
yeah.
selling like a Carhartt jacket, and then the next post for sale is like a tractor part, and
Yeah.
then like a seed or an almanac telling you when it's going to rain. Like then you've hit gold.
Yeah.
So I
There.
would try to buy from sellers in the Midwest that I knew were the real deal. And so Teddy's shorts, you see a glimpse of it when he's at work, his zip off shorts, but they're splattered. Oh, that's a good photo.
Is that it?
I
Yeah.
think it's from Jima, or set photographer. The paint, those were actually real, and we only had one of those. Um, but that paint is real. It's not like some kind of Jackson Pollock artistry. But the t-shirts, for instance, we needed a lot of them, and those are all beautifully aged by Raphael Buck, our textile artist in London. And it was really important that he was really dirty and grungy. But anyway, back to your point about
No, no.
the dress. Sandy's floral dress was so perfect that Yorgos and Emma just felt like, and myself, like, we don't need to go further. We found it.
Yeah.
And also, it was nice to have, it was perfect. And then we kind of put those resources into the end scene, which was extremely labor intensive and expensive. And then Teddy and Michelle's builds were important.
When you, how much prep did you have for this? Well, you were in February and then you shot in April or
I
something?
started unofficially with Yorgos in 2023 off payroll
Yeah.
as
Yes,
a friend,
as
and
we
we
all do.
worked on, yeah. And James, the production designer, myself, and Yorgos just had a dialogue probably for like 5 months in 2023. And then I officially started in 2024 in, I guess that was in April.
April.
And I think we started shooting in end of June, maybe.
Oh,
It was like not, it could have been longer. The physical prep when like we're actually on the call sheet would have been great to have a little more time for the end scene was
the
a lot.
end scene shot last?
Yeah, thank
Okay.
God.
Yeah. Yeah. I would assume. Yeah, I assume.
We needed
You
every
never know.
single,
You never know.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
whatever it seems to me,
yeah.
whatever I don't want to shoot is pretty much up the first week.
And
So,
I'm calling the end scene, which is technically not the end scene, the
right.
big
The
reveal. But then there is the end scenes, which is
the the montage, right?
many vignettes.
Yeah.
And that was a full-time, uh, we did that as a second unit, and I had a team of Sally, who was amazing costumer, who did all the background, and I oversaw that, and
Because there's
that
probably
was
like
a lot.
30, there's like 30 pop-ups or something. There's like a lot. And
I
they're,
like that it feel I don't know if it was
it
30, but I
felt
liked
like
it
it. It
maybe.
felt like it just kept
Yeah,
going and it's
it
like,
is a
oh,
lot, and it takes you across the globe.
yeah.
I shot most of that in London, and then I had a great team in Greece, that I did those, Sandra, who we did that remotely. So I did
Wow.
the Greek scenes, over Zoom, um, and they did a brilliant job over there. But that's a whole nother movie in itself.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
vignette.
believe me, whenever I see montage, I want to kill myself. Like montage, like
Yeah,
eighth of a page, one sentence, it's gonna cost my whole budget. Thanks.
I know. And then shooting everything on VistaVision,
Yeah.
you the it's like the detail, the kind of molecular detail that you can see on screen
Yeah.
of fabric and even of the grain of the fabrics, the set.
Well, especially like the beekeeper suit that you have for Teddy. I mean,
Yeah,
that is so intricate and that scene especially you can see a lot of details of just like I mean, I think the aging on it is fantastic and it just tells a story in
I saw
itself.
it. Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
That's all
That's
Rafaela. Yeah.
and
It,
all of these scenes when he's in the beekeeper and then someone else is in the beekeeper suit, but it's kind of like him being his own alien or something. There was something really great about those scenes.
I love that it feels like a spacesuit.
Yeah.
It's a really fun story how I came across the age reference is that my neighbor who's she's a costume assistant and I can see her apartment from my house. And there was some kind of activity going on over there and there was a guy in this suit walking around and I texted her and I said, "KB, is that a apiarist? Is that a beekeeper? What's going on?" And she said, "Yeah, I have bees in my wall." And I said, "I have to have his phone number." And she gave it to me and I became friends with him. I was in like very early pre-production. I went and visited him in his hives and he sold me his suits.
Oh,
These are a copy of his suits, because the aging, the wear, and the, I don't want to call it filth because it's from bees, so it's not filthy
yeah.
in that way. But the patina from the bees, from handling the hive and from using the smoker is unbelievable. The beehive or the beekeeper's it's not a costume, the suit
Yeah.
has like a honeycomb design to protect them from the hot the
The stings.
stinger.
Yeah.
And so it's sort of like a mesh, and it also has it's aerates to keep you cool so you can wear your clothing underneath it. And when they use a smoker, the charcoal, just that gray color seeps into all the layers, and then the smell of charcoal is so beautiful,
Mm.
and the smell of honey and the smell of wax and propolis and all this like beautiful fragrance. We could have a begonia perfume line.
Yeah, right.
um, and that was very difficult to age, to mimic the vapor. That kind of smoke is really hard to layer into a costume. And Rafaela and Lauren spent a long time
Oh,
airbrushing and
wow.
then adding like actual wax and some paint and grease. But it is shocking how grubby beekeeping is. Like you're quite dirty, and that then informed me the rest of Teddy's life. And then when Teddy's fitting photos were revealed, James was like, "Oh, we need to really fuck up this set. Like it needs to be dirty."
More dirtier because I don't,
Really
I think
dirty.
he's slouchy because I was
Yeah.
thinking like you were like with the mom stuff, like this is his dad's suit, like you were saying, like, or
Yeah.
it doesn't quite fit him, it doesn't fit either of them when they're in their suits.
In different ways. Yep.
Yeah. And so, and he's a bit uncomfortable in it, but it's, it becomes very apparent, especially when he's down in the basement with her, that
Mhm.
it's not, this is not the way I really look. And I'm trying
Yeah.
to clean up for you. I'm
Yeah.
trying to be
So
nice.
there's two
Mhm.
instances where the actors are wearing a costume. So for me, it's always important that the actors are not really looking like they're wearing a costume, right? Like there's always a desire for reality and for it to just be a second skin with the actor.
Mm,
But I feel like in this case, in this film, in this script, that Michelle is wearing a costume,
mm,
right? She's trying to dupe you into thinking that she's
right.
human. And then he's trying to dupe her into thinking he knows what the fuck he's doing.
Right, right.
So they're both like putting on these sort of,
I mean, little did we know he did. Like,
yeah,
he
he did.
did. That's what's
Yeah.
crazy.
I feel bad for
Oh
Teddy.
my
So
gosh, it's so sad.
it's
It's so
really sad.
sad.
Yeah.
The
And so the
mom.
fact, it's really, yeah, it's
I
a
cried.
heartbreaking,
I cried when
yeah,
he went in to see. Oh my God, that was
it's
bad.
heartbreaking.
Do I have another one? Oh, well, yeah, here's them. I have a shot with them in the basement with her and
Teddy and Don's suits are custom. There's a lot of violence, especially for Teddy in the suit, a lot of stunts. I mean, he gets stabbed with a fork, he's bleeding.
right,
And then I don't know if you recall, but then when he throws the bee costume over his suit when Casey, the
the
sheriff,
policeman.
comes,
Yeah,
and then he wears there's a very long scene where he's riding his bike, he goes to the hospital to see his mother, and he has the suit underneath. So the suit gets a lot of play, and also these kind of suits that when I started in the 90s were really easy to buy off the rack. You could get great cheap suits that
right.
telegraphed really sad. But now fashion has, in kind of like snazzy Zara man
Did they
has,
still, do they still have downtown? Because my brother, just revert. My brother had moved here and he needed a suit, and I was like, go downtown.
yeah.
It's like $100. It's a 10-piece
Los
suit or something.
Angeles Street.
Yeah,
Los Angeles Street is so brilliant.
yeah. It's
And
such a great resource.
my guys over at Sergio Rossi. I mean, there's so many great places down there. But
Oh, but you weren't there.
it,
You were in London.
yeah, but
Yeah,
even so, what I was gonna get to is that even if you used to be able to walk into J.C. Penney and get like a really great cog in the wheels suit.
right,
And now everything's sort of a little slick and skinny, and it has top stitching on the lapel, and things just don't read like really. It's hard to find fabrics that aren't loaded with plastic,
right.
loaded with stretch.
Yeah.
So these suits are custom with vintage fabric. A really amazing workshop called Academy. This man, Adrian, in London, really gets it. So we had a great discussion about breaking the shoulder pads down intentionally. So the way he built the suit was already like the shoulder pads looked like they'd been over steamed and they had been over dry cleaned, and hung on the hanger too long, and
Right.
all the things that happen to vintage clothing. Um, and what's cool about the VistaVision, I hope everyone sees this on the big screen, is that you really see the details in the suits. Like it has a beautiful kind of stripe going on,
Yeah.
and the grain, and kind of things we take for granted
Yeah.
in doing like contemporary realism. I think people, the audience, might not realize how difficult that can be. And even their shirts, like to find that beautiful kind of cotton that again is not blended with poly. Those are vintage fabric that are custom made at Academy.
Isn't it horrible that you can't get that? Like it's just I just want a cotton shirt.
Yeah,
I
you
just
used to really be able to go into J.C. Penney and get like J. Farrar,
Right,
and
right.
it was the perfect mouse gray,
Yeah.
and it or you go to Sears, R.I.P.,
Yeah.
and you could really get that great like Stafford brand. There was just certain brands that Red Dad,
Yeah.
clog in the wheel.
I know I gotta wrap it up with you. I don't have photos of the last scenes, but inspiration for your wardrobes or costumes in those last scenes. Like, what can you tell me
Yeah.
that quickly?
Yeah, so we can fully talk about this, right?
Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
putting this out till December, almost Christmas. So yeah.
So when we get the big reveal of Michelle's slogging through this slime, like it just cuts from her to the closet, and then she's in this pool of slime. Spoiler alert, if you don't want to know what happens,
Yes.
turn this off.
I will give full spoiler alerts. Don't listen to the last 5 minutes.
And so she climbs out of the slime, and then she's being helped up by these two um, members of what you later realize are her council or her court. Um, and it's a very jarring scene, and it was important that it read very quickly as clearly not of this earth, but also not going into sci-fi tropes of what alien life might look like. So Yorgos felt it was very important that it have levity, not be so serious, like have a bit of whimsy to it.
Yeah.
But I don't mean to undercut like the seriousness of the costume, but like aliens world is usually like quite terrifying, or like cute little close encounters naked guys with big heads.
I think
And
I
he,
mean, even with the set and everything and how the costumes have to play in with the set also, I think
Mhm.
everything was integrated so well as to not be funny
Yeah,
or scary.
yeah,
Like it's a
yeah,
great, you guys both hit such a great line of like interesting and hurry up
yeah.
and get it. Yeah.
Hurry up and get it. And so it is. James and I worked together with the color palette, and the ship being very uterine, like fallopian tubes,
Yeah.
vaginal,
Yeah.
um, kind of jellyfish, this organic thing hurtling through space. And it takes you down to the core of Michelle's concerns for nature and her as female woman, earth mother power,
Right.
universe power of the feminine. And then I thought, why not like go into ideas of communal activities like knitting, something very feminine, very old and ancient, and something that doesn't revolve around technology or capitalism or manufacturing in a capitalist system. And the yarn, which we use crinoline,
Mm.
which is made for millinery work. um, for instance, the council is 3,100 meters of crinoline, that
What?
much of it was made in Switzerland.
Oh,
And the
wow.
queen is 2,500 meters
Wow.
alone of
Wow.
macrame crinoline. The council's like basically 2 miles of material, like literally, that was handmade.
That's
And everything was
incredible.
handmade besides the crinoline, which was manufactured in Switzerland by a machine. And the idea of just like kind of, I was thinking about fishermen's sweaters, DNA strands, fallopian tubes, things that looked organic and begat from the body. Like, did the yarn come from their bodies or from
Yeah.
some garden lab on the spaceship? And so those colors, are a little, like gooey and meaty and bloody. But I also didn't want it to be gross. Like it needed to be sort of beautiful and hopeful in some
Oh yeah.
way.
I think it definitely reads that. It's a interesting, beautiful like scene of them together. Unfortunately the ending isn't great for us, but it's
It's sad. Yeah.
it's sad, but
Yeah.
it's very thought-provoking of
Yeah.
how of oh, this is happening like somewhere and what is going on with all of these other and for to me it's so great like the designer decorator costumes like when you get to kind of like invent something and
Yeah.
really like well this is our take on it, this is how it's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing or it's an awful
Yeah.
thing or
And it's a
you know,
big iconography. It's a
iconography.
big like tome or like encyclopedic. It's so overwhelming. Like the alien, like every Geiger, like everything has been kind of done. And that was a really big challenge. And kudos to Yorgos for that one word was normal.
Mm.
And that kind of, then I just went off on a crazy nutcase tangent,
Oh, I love
which
it. I love it.
Yorgos allows you to do. And it's a really fun collaboration because he lets you just kind of be you.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's always fantastic to be able to be creative and still be a team
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta wrap it up with you, but this was a joy. Thank you. I learned so much, and I was so
It's so
interested.
fun to talk to a fellow, somebody that does this for a living.
Yeah, I love working with costumes and
Yeah.
what is she in, or here's my sheets,
Yeah.
and
And
here's
same for decorator and set. Such an important marriage of props and
yeah. So many spokes in the wheel.
Yes.
It's crazy how we all work together. Now, I hope you turned it off if you didn't see the film, because I don't want to be told that I spoiled that movie, because it's a good ending, and guess what? I didn't see that coming. I thought, no way is that happening. So, I know I'm being vague. I'm just making sure. I don't want to spoil it because I really enjoyed the ending and I don't want to spoil it for anyone. So, yeah. But to hear how that concept came about and how they implemented it and the materials and females and the female body and getting all that inspiration and making a costume out of it, it's awesome. So that creativity is just such an amazing thing to hear about and how they made it on screen. There you go. So thank you so much again, Jennifer. That was awesome. Who do I have? What do we got? Let me see. What you got coming up? Let me tell you. Next week, you're gonna Hedda. Boy, Hedda. If you haven't seen Hedda, it is on Amazon Prime. Hit that up. There is your homework, because that's coming up next week. And then the following week, if you haven't seen Sinners once or twice or 3 times, watch it again before that. That'll come up on the 16th. And I still have Overcompensating. That sweet little show also on Amazon. So, yeah, got a full month. I got a full 2 months for you, but I don't like to go too far out because you never know. That's all I'm going to say. All right. I hope you got an earful. I am Kim Wanup for Decorating Pages.